Skip. So I was thinking, I know one of the times my brain might work a little differently, but I was never what I was made out to be. First of all, I should have never been locked up and kept locked up, and I had documented evidence of some of it. I mean, there were times when I still consider myself a Christian and believing in God and Jesus. I interpret things a lot differently because and the things I've studied and just myself spiritually meditated on for years, trying to find answers to things that apparently there is never going to be an answer to. I see where all, or at least most of the religions connect. So you got to think about how stuff gets lost in translation. There really isn't any way to describe God anyway. And there was like a Paulo Coelho quote. It was something like, anyone who knows God cannot describe him. Anyone who can describe God doesn't know him. And I think that's, in a certain sense, that's true. So some of the things, I'm pretty sure people took words and took it out of context, and they may have been using other people's identity. Why else would no one care that things are altered on documents and paperwork? And I'm not saying that I'm always sweet and pleasant about this, but I want to be and I try to be. And it's not that hard to trick me into being loving. So here's one example of something that I thought, even if I was right, and I didn't talk about any of that in my meditations, delusions of grandeur might have fit if I said, hey, I think our music connected to this and that. And the stuff with the Kid Rock, Britney Spears thing, and my song, and my magazine column, and blah, blah, blah. I didn't tell them that. I told them someone else is in my business, and they were tampering with stuff at times for my private information and things I said verbatim. And I might have been wrong about who I suspected, but if you know there's someone in my business right away, if you can't tell me and you know that, then you know I'm right. If you don't know, yes, I'm just going to sound crazy. But if you took the time, instead of just right out the gate saying there was something that wrong with me, I don't care how crazy I am. If I was totally crazy, would make me more of a target. So just by that kind of, deductive reasoning and logic and the things I try to apply, I know the whole world's not out to get me. The fact that I have any faith and love left in my heart after some of the things that have happened, that's the miracle. The things that I've been up against, if you told me beforehand, I would have never believed you, first of all. I mean, Davey moving out. Here's another example of that. I ponder the things about why I'm here, and I do a lot of meditation and yoga. And even if, let's say, I had a connection to someone, and I used to think that you shouldn't idolize rock stars either. But, I mean, let's face it, once everything else was taken away from me so much, everything was affected, every relationship I had, by whatever this thing that isn't happening and isn't a presence in my business. That's kind of all I had was the music and things to connect to. And that's my right to, even if it was some kind of fantasy pipe dream. I could separate from that and say what I know for sure is real. And you can't say that's not, at the very least, a spiritual coincidence, I don't know if Kid Rock knew about my anchor sign and the different things. I don't have the heart anchor on right now. But that's one of the things that the girl I went to Florida with in 2002 said I should make that my symbol. The anchor could be, and incorporate with my four-leaf clover frog thing. But she said to symbolize that never let a man tie you down again unless you want him to. And so, I mean, that kind of money might be nice. It would be nice. My anxiety would be alleviated if I knew all my wants and needs could be taken care of. And my needs are, there. My wants are not that extravagant. So it wouldn't even probably take that much money. But at the end of the day, I still would be dealing with the idea that we all